need to put it in the chat box. Okay, let's start. I think my voice is clear. It has been done for the batch N2143. For how many of you this topic is already done? Okay, for how many of you? Just put a yes. Just put a plain yes for those of you who are done with this. Just a plain yes, nothing else. Just a plain yes. Okay, so many of them. Because here in my index, it is mentioned AR chapter 5 to 8. That's why. Okay, how many of you are there for whom this is not done? Just put a no now. Those of you not done, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and 2145 is not done. 2 batches are there. 1 have done it. Okay, got it. So unfortunately, students who have done with this topic, this would be, I think there is some misunderstanding by which they had again put this class to you. So we will be doing AR chapter 5 to 8 today. There is no solution to that because that is mentioned in my schedule as well. So we will have to go for that. Students who have already attended this can leave because there is no point in doing it again and again. I'm sure you must have practiced the exercise problem as well after this. Okay, so sorry for that. Sorry from the scheduling side. I think there is some problem that has happened there because of which this thing has happened. So you can leave now, and students who have not attended this topic can go ahead with this. Okay. Okay. So having said this, let's start with the topic. So first topic that we are doing today is number series. Okay, as I said, feel free to speak as well as you can put your doubt in the chat box. Okay, but make sure you understand what is being communicated. So we start with the first chapter of number series here. Okay, all the students who have attended this can be. No problem, sir. We haven't studied type 1 either. Arey, don't go on this. This is just one PPT. Type 1, type 2 करके कुछ भी नहीं है ऐसा. Okay, don't worry. This is just a fresh topic. Not at all related. Type 1 is Venn diagram and all this. It's not related to this. Okay, so don't worry about that. This is exactly repetition of what you must have studied earlier. So no point in attending this. If you want a revision of that, you can attend, but don't give the answer because then it kills the charm of the class. Okay. Okay, so let's start. So let's start with the first topic that is there on number series. Okay, so what is number series now? As the name says, it's a series that is being formed by using numbers. So this is your series now, 57, 58, 118, 357. My question to you is, what will be the next number here? Okay, so start thinking. All of you who are there in the class, start thinking, what is a pattern? Is there any pattern by which numbers are placed here? You have 30 seconds to think. Go for it. Yes, anyone with any answer? So I got two answers here. Jugal is saying into 4 plus 4, and he's saying that the answer is 1432. Okay, so let's see what is the logic here. The logic that is being applied here is quite simple. Into 1 plus 1. So first do this. 57 into 1 plus 1 is what? 58. Okay, then do this into 2 plus 2. 58 into 2 is 116 plus 2 is 118. Next is this into 3 plus 3. 118 into 3 is 354. Okay, plus 3 is 357. So next will be what now? This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So next will be what then? 4. So next will be into 4 plus 4. So the answer comes out to be as 1432. So the logic here was quite simple. Into 1 plus 1, then into 2 plus 2, then into 3 plus 3, then into 4 plus 4. And the answer comes out to be as 1432 then. Okay, so first thing you have to think here is, what is the pattern here? Okay, what is the pattern by which the numbers are placed here? How will you get the click for this? Well, the best way to get the click for this is practice. The more you practice, the better you will be at solving such problem. Okay, what other than practice is required is knowing the types. Okay, so there are different types of problems in number series. I'll tell you those types as we solve those sums. Okay, currently we are on to the first sum, and this is your type 1. Okay, which is called as natural number. So what number that you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are nothing but natural number. Okay, that's why this type is called as natural number. Now there are 5 more types which I'll tell you as we solve those sum. Currently I'm not telling you, but next time whenever you are thinking, think first in terms of types. If you're not getting the answer in terms of types, then think of some weird logic that could be applied to the problem. Okay, now let's take the next sum. So this is your next series now. Start thinking on it. Anyone gets the answer? Okay, let me give you a hint for this, and the hint is this. Something that I'm drawing on the board is an hint. Yes, so now start thinking. Okay, so you're saying answer is 2511. Okay, Divya, I just started, so I'm repeating everything now. So check here. Now this number series has a pattern. I divide each number into two parts, LHS and RHS. LHS, what you see here is nothing but square. So this is 2 square, this is 3 square, this is 4 square, this is 1 square. So every number that is there on LHS is some number square. 1, 2, 3, 4. So next will be what? 5 square. So LHS will be 25. Okay, and then you see the RHS correct, okay, as being put by one student, square and a prime number. If you see the RHS, these are 2, 3, 5, 7. So if I have to name this number 2, 3, 5, 7, what will I call them? They are called as prime number. So what is the next prime number after 7? 11. That's what I will write it here. 2511 is your answer, option number 2. So I told you at the start that I will give you skeleton of types. So this is your skeleton now. Next time when you are thinking of a number series problem, first think in terms of types. Okay, so that you will not waste time in your exam and you are always thinking in the right direction. Sir, explain again. Yes, see, every number that is here divided into two parts, LHS and RHS. LHS has a pattern, they are square. This is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. So next will be what? 5 square. So I get LHS as 25. RHS is nothing but prime number. This is 2, this is 3, this is 5, this is 7. So next prime number after 7 is 11. So from this sum, I get two types. First sum we learned a type of natural number, right? Because the numbers there were natural number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this sum, we learned two more types. We learned one type of square and we learned one type of prime number. These two types are combined to form this one sum, a square and a prime number. Now there are few more types to it, which I'll tell you now only, so that from next sum onwards, you are prepared to think in the right direction. Sir, doubt, please explain. Are doubt kya? Abhi to sum start kiya hai. What is the doubt? You want me to repeat? You did not get it?
Hello, sir. Sir, can I speak?
Yes, someone is speaking.
Sir, Jugal. Sir, in this, sir,
Yes.
sir, like this
Voice
pattern.
इतना कम क्यों आ रहा है?
Hello.
Yes, I don't know, for some reason your voice is very low.
Sir, audible?
हाँ, बोलो बोलो.
सर इसमें अगर 43 और 12 का डिफरेंस लेते हैं तो 31 आता है, फिर 95 और 43 का डिफरेंस लेते हैं तो 42 आता है, और 167 95 का डिफरेंस लेते हैं 72। सर फिर उनका अगर डिफरेंस लेते हैं तो 21 20 और 19 आता है, मतलब वो एक साइमल्टेनियसली एक कम हो रहे हैं। तो सर अगर वैसे करें तो 258 आता है आंसर।
हाँ, करेक्ट करेक्ट, बट ये डिफरेंस के लॉजिक से नहीं बना है. ओके, सो यू हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम द लॉजिक ऑफ द एग्जामिनर. करेक्ट, तुम ऐसा सोच रहे हो दिस इज, ये एक सम में ऐसा हो सकता है क्या दो डिफरेंट लॉजिक से आ रहा है, बट जनरली ऐसा होगा नहीं. दिस इज अ स्पेशल सम जहाँ पे ऐसा दो केस आ रहा है. सो आई सीन फ्यू स्टूडेंट जिन्होंने डिफरेंस से आंसर निकाला और डिफरेंस से डिफरेंस करके दो डिफरेंट आंसर आया, बट जनरली ऐसा एग्जाम में होगा नहीं. ओके, दिस इज अ यूनिक सम जो जिसमें ऐसा आंसर आ रहा है. ओके, जनरली दिस थिंग विल नॉट हैपन इन एग्जाम. क्या एक लॉजिक देखा उसी से आंसर आएगा. ओके, सो यू कैन थिंक लाइक दिस, क्या दिस इज द वन वे टू गेट द आंसर, बट एग्जाम में आउट ऑफ द टू लॉजिक ओनली वन विल वर्क. ऐसा नहीं होगा क्या एक लॉजिक से ये आंसर आ रहा है, एक लॉजिक से ये आंसर आ रहा है. दिस इज अ यूनिक सम, सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट.
ओके, थैंक
योर
यू।
लॉजिक इज नॉट रॉन्ग. इन शॉर्ट आई एम सेइंग योर लॉजिक इज नॉट रॉन्ग. तुमने डिफरेंस का डिफरेंस लिया, उसमें तुम्हें एक पैटर्न मिला और उससे तुम्हारा आंसर आ रहा है 258. सो लॉजिक इज नॉट रॉन्ग. Okay, but this sum is such that you are getting two different answers, but this will not generally happen. You will understand as we solve few more sums, so don't worry about that.
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Got it, Jugal?
यस सर, थैंक यू सर।
Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I told you that natural number wala first sum tha. This we saw two more types, square and prime numbers. Now let me tell you few more types. Now if square is a type, there is one more type of cube. Okay, if prime number is a type, there is one more type of odd number. And if there is odd number, there is one more type of even number. So these are your 6 types of problem. Please make sure you make a note of this, okay, so that from next sum onwards you will be prepared to think in terms of types. Someone just asked what is type 6. Type 6 is even number, and after that odd number. Okay, so we are done with this. Let's go for the next problem now. Okay, so this is your next problem, and this is your next series. After 3, you have an 8. After 8, you have 27. After 27, what will be the next number such that the next number is 987? Okay, so start thinking. Yes, anyone with the answer for this? 3, 8, 27. What will be the next number such that the next number is 987? So how will you solve this now? Anyone got any answer to it?
Experience South Monster.
Okay, no one got any answer? So let me help you here. I can start in this way. Okay, Mayuresh is saying that the answer is 140. Okay, let's see if the answer is 140. I can start in this way. Okay, I can say into 2 plus 2 is equals to 8. Then I can go for into 3 plus 3 is equals to 27. So I'm thinking of this what? Natural number type. Okay, we know 6 type. One of them is natural number. So I'm thinking of this as a natural number type. So the next number that I'll write after 3 is 4. So I'll write here into 4 plus 4. That comes out to be as 112. What will be the next number that I'll write after 4? 5. So I'll write here into 5 plus 5. 112 into 5 plus 5 is what? 565. And here it is 987. Okay, which means what? 112 is not the answer. Natural number is not the type. So what will I do? I'll think of something else now. I'll think of prime number as a type. Okay, why am I thinking of this as a prime number? Now think about it. Because 2 and 3, when you are calling them to be as natural number, they are also prime number. Right, they are also prime number. So I'll if I'm thinking of this as a prime number type, which is the next prime number after 3, that will be 5. So I will write it into 5 plus 5. 27 into 5 is 135 plus 5 is 140. Since I thought of this as a prime number type, after 5, the next prime number is 7. So I'll write it into 7 plus 7. Answer here is 987. Correct. So the type is prime number and the answer is 140. Okay, that is option number 3. So that's why I gave you that skeleton of type. I'll revise again. Which are your 6 types? Natural number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the previous sum, we saw 2 more types, square, and then prime number. And then I told you it is, if there is a square, there will always be a cube, which can be one of the type, then even number, and then odd number. Okay, so what happened here was, I thought of it as a natural number type because that's an instinct. Okay, after 2 and 3, you will write a 4. But then I realized if I'm thinking of this as a natural number type and I write the next number as 5, I'm not getting the last number, which means this is not natural number. Then I thought of, okay, can I think of some other type here? It cannot be square, it cannot be cube, it cannot be even number, it cannot be odd number because there are 2 and 3 here. So nothing works. Nothing works here. So then I thought, okay, can I think of this as a prime number type? 2 and 3, if they're natural number, they are also prime number. That's why I wrote it here. Okay, so next prime number 3, I wrote 5 here. After 5, next prime number is 7. And that's how I got my answer as 140. So make sure you use this skeleton really well. If one type does not work, go for the other. If nothing works, then think of some weird logic that could be applied to the problem. Okay, you will get this once you practice few problems. So that's it from this. Okay, let's see the next series now here. 6, 15, 35, 77. What will be the next number that will come here? Okay, your time starts now. All of you have 30 seconds to think. As you get the answer, put it in the chat box. Okay, I got my first answer from Kashish, and 143 is what she's saying. What is the logic? Can you just tell me the logic? How did you get 143? Or can you just tell me the type? What type is this? So that I know you are thinking in the right direction. Into 2 plus prime. Okay, Karan here is saying that into 2 plus prime. Okay, so are you trying to say this? Into 2 plus 3 is 15. Then into 2 plus 5 is 35. Yes, it's working. Into 2 plus 7 is 77. Correct. So everything is working. So next will be what? Into 2 plus 3, 5, 7. Can you tell me what type of number are they? What type of number are they?
Prime.
They are prime numbers. Okay, but I can also say that they are odd numbers. So Divya is saying they are odd numbers. Devanshu is saying they are prime numbers. Both of them are correct because they are odd numbers 3, 5, 7. So if you are thinking of this as an odd number type, you will write a 9 here, right? Because you are thinking of this as an odd number type. But if I'm thinking of this as a, let me just take this out. If I'm thinking of this as an odd number type, okay, I'll write here what? Just my pencil has stopped. Give me a minute. So by that, what is the answer that you are getting from this? Did you check the answer if I keep on going like this? Into 2 plus 3, into 2 plus 5, into 2 plus 7. Next will be into 2 plus 9, if you are thinking of this as an odd number. But if you are thinking of this as a prime number, it will be into 2 plus 11. And both the students are correct, which are saying prime numbers, because 3, 5, 7, they are odd numbers, but they are also prime numbers. So with prime number, the answer is 11. With odd number, the answer is 9. Let's multiply. 77 into 2 is 154 plus 9 is 163. If I do plus 11, it will be 165. Check it. Both the options, both the answers are not there in the options. Okay, one answer you get 163, one answer you get 165. Both are not there in the option. This itself should tell you this is not the right logic to think of this. And the right logic is something that Kashish has already put in at the start with the answer of 143. Okay, so not always that you multiply this number to get onto this. We saw that as a first sum. So this is also, that's the same logic we are thinking here as well. What are you supposed to do here is just split this number. Write this 6 as 2 into 3. Write this 15 as 3 into 5. Write this 35 as 5 into 7. Write this 77 as 7 into 11. Product of two prime numbers. That's what you do. Okay, that's why I said practice here is important. So if you had seen this sum earlier, there is a good chance that you will think in this way. Just split this number into product of two prime numbers. So what is the next prime number after 2? 3. Write a 3 here. Next prime number after 3, 5. Write a 5 here. Next prime number after 5, 7. Write a 7 here. After 7, next prime number is 11. So write 11 here. After 11, next prime number is 13. 11 into 13 is nothing but 143. And that's your answer. Option number 5. Okay, so when you are getting two different answers for this, like it can be an odd number or it can be a prime number, that itself should tell you this is not the right logic by which examiner wants you to think. Okay, there is something else to this problem. And that's when you come up with this logic. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you now how to deal with the problems on number series. Now, this was one type of problem. Okay, there is one more way by which they can ask you problem in number series. So what we solved till now is called as missing term in a series. What is missing term in a series? They will give you a series. They will ask you to crack the logic of series and tell me one term which is missing here. That was missing term. Now what we study is called as wrong term in a series. So even in this type, they will give me a number series. They will ask me to crack the logic of this number series, find the pattern by which the numbers are placed here. But one number will not fit into the logic of the series, will not fit into the pattern of series. So can you tell me which is that wrong term here? Which is that one term which does not fit into the logic of series? So crack the logic and tell me which is the wrong term. With wrong term, you also tell me the right term. Okay, then only I'll know that you got it the right way. Yes, no one got the answer till now. Okay, so let me give you a hint. The hint is something that I'm drawing on the board. This is your hint now. Start thinking. $64. Immediately after the hint, I get the answer, which is 64. And 64, if you feel 64 is a wrong term, what will come in the place of 64? So what is the right term? 63 is the right term. Correct. Okay, so now think about it. Now this is what you call for as alternate series. Okay, what is an alternate series? There are two different series here which are placed alternately. So this is one series into 2 plus 1. 7 into 2, 14 plus 1, 15 into 2 plus 1, 15 into 2, 30 plus 1, 31 into 2 plus 1, 31 into 2, 62 plus 1. This should be 63 and not 64. So 64 is a wrong term. It should be replaced by 63. Now, if you want to cross check this, again do it. Into 2 plus 1. 63 into 2 plus 1 is 126 plus 1, 127. Correct. So 64 is a wrong term. There should be 63 in the place of 64. Now, there can be only one wrong term in a series, which means the next series should have all the right term. Check it here. 10 becomes 18, so 8 is added. 18 becomes 22, so 4 is added. 22 becomes 24, so 2 is added. 24 becomes 25, so 1 is added. Okay, so what is the pattern in which they are added? 2 raised to 3, then 2 raised to 2, then 2 raised to 1, then 2 raised to 0. Which means there is a pattern by which the numbers are added and all the terms are right term in this series except for 64. So that's why I said practice becomes really important here. Okay, because if you would have seen कि हाँ ऐसे भी sum बन सकता है where they are placing it as an alternate series, there is a good chance you might get the click in the exam as well. Okay, so practice more of such problems and you will be good with it. Okay, that's it from this small chapter of number series. Make sure you know the 6 types and you keep applying them. Okay, because the more you apply, the more you practice, the better you will be at solving such problems. Okay, that's it with this small chapter of number series. Now let's go ahead with the second chapter for the day, that is coding decoding. Okay, so what is actually coding decoding? Okay, let me put it in a very simple way. In coding decoding, you always get problems like this. This word is coded as this. How will you code this word? You always get problem like this. So if I have to simplify this, imagine there is a machine. Okay, to this machine, I give input as courageous. What is machine doing with the input? Machine is performing certain logic or some operations on the alphabets of the word courageous, and it is giving me this word as an output: HFPVT DPVSP. So I give machine the input courageous, machine gives me the output HFPVT DPVSP. Your job is to crack what is the logic performed by the machine. How did machine convert this courageous word into this word? What is that operation that is being performed by the machine on the alphabets of the word courageous? Why do you need to crack the logic? Because then you will give this word as an input to the machine. So they will tell you, if I give courageous as an input to the machine, what will be the output? Okay, you can know the output only once you know how is machine converting the input to the output. Okay, what is the logic by which machine is converting? That's why you need to crack the logic. Okay, once you crack the logic, 90% of the problem gets over here because then you just have to apply to Kavadi. So now I start thinking, this is where I'm using my brain. Okay, how can I convert courageous to this word? By what logic? So first, I try by taking the next alphabet. So what am I doing here? I'm taking the next alphabet of every alphabet that is there in courageous. So C next alphabet D, O, P, U, V, R, S, A, B, and then so on. Next alphabet of every alphabet that is there in courageous. Okay, now I start thinking, how can you get this word from this word? Can you think now? What should be my next step? See, HFPVT is here. HFPVT is here. DPVSB is here. DPVSB is here. So what will I do? What is the first step? First step, I took +1. Okay. Second step, what will I do is I'll divide it into 2 equal half. Okay. All that I'm thinking is how will I derive this word from this one? So second step I do is I divide it into 2 equal half. Can you tell me what will be the last step now? Swap. Correct. Swap the half. Take the right half to the left and take the left half to the right. Swap the half. That is the logic. So I said 90% of the problem gets over here only. This is where it gets over. When you crack the logic. This is what you will have to do. Yes, Shweta, no problem. This is what you will have to do with every machine. Crack the logic. And the logic will be different for different machine. That's what you will have to understand when you practice problem. I will tell you few logic in today's class, which are generic logic. Few of the logic you will discover while you practice such problems. Okay, but this is the important part here, cracking the logic. Now it's very simple. Apply it to Cowardly. So if you give Cowardly as an input to this machine, machine will do the same thing. First, it will take the next alphabet. So next alphabet of every alphabet that is there in Cowardly. Then it will divide it into 2 equal halves, which means if there are 8 alphabets, 4, 4. And then it will swap the half. So left half comes to right and right half goes to left. So SEMZ here and DPXP here. That's your answer. Okay, which is what? Option number 2. Okay, so every time you get a problem in coding decoding, they will ask you if this word is coded into this, how will you code this word? Every problem is like that. So you're the first thing, okay, what is the logic? Once you get the logic, problem is over. And the logic, as I said, are of different types. Okay, there are different types of logic which you will have to think. Sir, if there would be 5 alphabets, they will not give you any word with 5 alphabets. Okay, they know that this is how they have set it up. So they will always give you like 8 or 10 or 6, such that you will be able to get to answer. Let's see the next problem now. So now you tell me, if Cambridge is coded into this word, how will you code Oxford? Don't tell me the answer. Getting the answer is easy. Tell me the logic. How will you convert Cambridge into this word? What operations will you perform on the alphabets of the word Cambridge such that you will get this word? Okay, start thinking. Once you get the answer, put it in the chat box. +1 and reverse. Okay, that's the logic to it. As rightly said by many students in the chat box, that's the right answer to it. Okay, so first, what will you do? How will you convert Cambridge into this word? First, take the next alphabet of every alphabet that is there in Cambridge. So what will I do here? Take the next alphabet. So the next alphabet after C will be D. After A will be B. After M will be N, and then so on. Then think about it. How will you get this word from this word? Just reverse it. Reverse means the last alphabet becomes first. The second last becomes second. The third last becomes third, and then so on. So completely reverse. So what is the logic? add one, step one, and then in the step two, just reverse it. Now apply this to Oxford. So plus one, if I take it, O plus one P, X plus one Y, F plus one G, and then so on. And now just reverse it. So what's your answer here? Option number 5. Okay, as I said, in the entire chapter now, the logic will keep on changing. This is what you will have to think. Okay, now let's see some other logic after this. I hope it is clear to all of you how to use this logic. Next sum. Secondary is coded into this word. How will you code primarily? That's a question. Okay, so now don't tell me the logic. Probably you will not be able to put the logic in the chat box. Tell me the answer here directly. So if secondary is coded into this word, how will you code primary? Crack the logic and then apply. Answer, you are saying it's 3. Correct. Answer is option number 3. Okay, Shubham has said it on, as well as Ayushi are saying answer is 3. Now see, how will I think here? How will I start thinking in this part? See, every alphabet that is there in secondary, which is your SECO, is there in the coded word as well. So you don't have to use the logic of any +1, +2, +3 here. Why? Because the alphabets are same here. Every alphabet that is there in secondary is there in the coded word as well. So check it here. There is an SECO here. There is an SECO here. There is an NDARY here. There is an NDARY here. So don't think of any +1, +2 here. Okay, now just change the position of the alphabet. So this logic is called as relative movement of letters. What is happening here? I am just changing the position of alphabet. That's it. That's it. That's the only logic that is being applied here. But how are you changing the position? That is where the pattern is. So how are you changing? Let's solve both of them simultaneously, okay, for our better understanding. So n remains at the position of n. The alphabet that is there in the middle remain at its position. So check it. So A will remain at its position. The alphabet that is there in the middle will remain at its position. Okay, then what? SE, which was first, second, comes to third, fourth. So SE, which was here, comes here. So similarly, PR, which was here, will come here. Then CO, which was here, comes at first and second position, but O and then C interchange their position. Similarly, IM will come here, but M and then I will interchange their position. DA comes here, so RI comes here. RY comes here, but Y and then R interchange their position. So LY comes here, but Y and then L interchange their position. So my answer is what? Option number 3. As I said, the logic keeps on changing. So what I saw here is every alphabet that is there in secondary is there in the coded word as well. So now don't think of any +1, +2, +3 here. No, they are just changing the position of the alphabets. And how they are changing the position, this is where the pattern is. Okay, this is where the logic is. So that's where you have to think. So answer is option number 3. Okay, I hope all of you got this part. Next question. In a certain language, elephant is coded as this. So how will you code scooters? Okay, that's your question. Don't tell me the answer now. Just tell me the logic. How will you code elephant into this word? What operations will you perform on the alphabets of the word elephant such that you code it into this word? Okay, your time starts now. Anyone who gets the answer, put it in the chat box. I got my first answer from Divya and Sarita, and that's the right answer. Shubham is saying, don't know the logic, quite confusing. Don't worry, Shubham. I'll help you with that. Okay, so let's start. Kashish, Divya, and Sarita have given me the right answer here, which is +1, +2, +3. Okay, that is the logic here. So check here. Take earlier we did only +1, right? So this is slightly difficult. Slowly we are increasing the difficulty level. So what you did here is first you take +1. E plus 1 is F. Then you do +2. Okay, L plus 2 is MN. Okay, then you do +3. E plus 3 is E, F, G, H. As you can check it here. Okay, from E you get H. Similarly, you do here is +4. So P plus 4 is Q, R, S, T. H plus 5, and then so on. So if you reach Z, again come back to A and B. It moves like a cycle. So the logic here was quite simple. +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, and then so on. Once you crack the logic, the problem is over. Now just apply. Apply it to Scooter. So S plus 1, T, C plus 2, D, E. Then O plus 3, P, Q, R, and then so on. Okay, so what is your answer here? Option number 4 is your answer. That's how we solve. Okay, I hope all of you got it now. Now let's see some other logic. As I said, all that you have to do in coding, decoding is see different types of logic. So let's see one more logic, and that is a very important logic. Okay, so I'm drawing a table here. See if you are able to crack the pattern by which I'm drawing this table. So I go till M here, and from M onwards, I come down. That's what I'm doing. And now I number them. Till 13, I go here, and from 13 onwards, I go down. 26 alphabet, I split it into 13 and then 13, as you can see it here written on the board. Now I ask you a question. Again, what is the question that I ask you? That if I code A as Z and if I code B as Y, so can you tell me how will I code J? Think about it. The table is right here in front of you. If I code A as Z, if I code B as Y, can you tell me how will I code J? Sarita already told me the answer. What about rest? How will I code J? Think about it. See the table. You will code J as Q. You will code J as Q. Okay, this is what you call for as reverse coding. Okay, what is reverse coding? First alphabet is coded as last. Second alphabet is coded as second last. Third alphabet is coded as third last. That's why you just see this table. That's why I made this table. First is coded as last. Second is coded as second last. Third is coded as third last. Fourth is coded as fourth last. So 10th is coded as what? 10th last. So J will be coded as Q. Okay, while you solve such problems, you will find many problems which will be solved by reverse coding. So there use this table. Okay, this table will be very much helpful to you to get answer quickly. Okay, you don't have to waste time in thinking. So make sure you use this table effectively. Okay, this will help you a lot to get to the answer quickly. This is what you call for as reverse coding. Yes, Chirag, as Chirag rightly said, there is one more way to look at this. Sum of this is always 27. 26 plus 1, 25 plus 2, 24 plus 3, 23 plus 4. The sum is always 27. 10 plus 17, sum is always 27. Okay, so make sure you use this logic. And that's it from this small chapter of coding, decoding as well. What is it like you're supposed to do in this chapter? I told you 4 to 5 logic right now. Okay, there are around 20 to 25 different types of logic by which word can be coded. This is what you will discover while you practice this problem. But there is nothing else in this chapter other than cracking the logic. Okay, so make sure you practice enough of problems and see enough of logic before you go to the exam. Again, that's it from this small chapter of coding decoding. Now, there is one small type of problem that is remaining here. It is not that important. Never such question will be asked in CAT, but it can be asked in your CMAT, SNAP, NMAT. You can get such question, okay, which is called as word coding. So let me take one problem from this. As it is very simple, we'll finish it early. So see, in this, word is coded into symbols. Okay, so what word is coded into what symbol is something that you will have to see it here. Okay, so here it is given that I love you is coded as dollar hashtag @ love is divine is coded as this three symbols, and you are divine is coded as this three symbols. So they just want to know that love stands for what symbol. So love can be any one of these symbols, right? Dollar, hashtag, @ it could be any one of these three symbols. You don't know what word stands for what symbol. So what will you do? Compare this to love is a word that is common here, and @ is a symbol that is common here. So love stands for @. Similarly, check this. Divine is a word that is common here, and X is a symbol that is common here. So divine stands for X. And so S is something that is remaining here, and the only symbol that is remaining is delta. So S stands for delta. Done. What are they asking me? They are asking me divine love is bliss will be coded as what? So divine stands for into, love stands for @ is stands for delta, and bliss will be some new symbol. Which is that option? X, @ delta, and new symbol. Option number 1. That's your answer to it. Okay, this is what you call for as word coding. So words are coded into symbols. As I said earlier, never expect such easy problems in CAT exam. You can expect this in CMAT and your SNAP and MAT, rest of the speed-based exam. Okay, but they will not ask such simple problem in CAT. Okay, and this is how we finish our chapter of coding decoding. So make sure you practice enough of problem and see different types of logic by which problem can be made. Now let's start with the third chapter for today. So we started with number series, then we went on to coding decoding. Now we start with the third chapter for today, decision making. Okay, so give me a minute to open the PPT. Okay, so let's start with this. This will be the last chapter for today, input output. But before we go on to input output, which is a big chapter which involves a lot of concepts, let's finish one more small chapter of decision making. Okay, so 3 small chapters for today and 1 big chapter of input output. Let's start with decision making. Decision making is also called as eligibility criteria. Okay, so how do you think here now? What kind of question can you expect from this chapter of decision making, which is also called as eligibility criteria? Imagine you are an interviewer. You have to select or reject the candidate depending upon certain criteria. Okay, so this is a sum where it is talking about a marriage proposal. Wanted a girl, she needs to be Brahmin. She should not be more than 25-year-old. And today the date is 1/1/2005. She should be working and she should be good cook. Okay, these are the conditions that are there, which are given in the problem. Now, as soon as you read this problem, you should identify that there are 2 types of conditions that are here. One are called as necessary and one are called as sufficient condition. What are necessary condition? You have to satisfy them. If you don't satisfy them, you are rejected. And what are sufficient condition? Even if you don't satisfy them, that's okay. Okay, so if she's not working, then the case is to be referred to boy's parents. And if she's not a good cook, then the case is to be referred to boy's sister. So what do you understand from this? See, now the candidates will come to you and you have to take a decision whether you will select them or whether you will reject them. So if all the conditions are satisfied, that is, the girl is Brahmin, she's less than 25-year-old, she's working and she's a good cook, then you will say that the candidate is selected. If the necessary conditions are not satisfied, which means she's not Brahmin, she's more than 25-year-old, you will reject the girl. That's why they are called as a necessary condition, which means you have to satisfy them. If you don't satisfy them, there is a straightaway rejection. Why this condition are called as sufficient condition? Because even if you don't satisfy them, it's okay. There is some other sub condition attached to it. So if she is not working, cases to be referred to boy's parents. If she is not a good cook, cases to be referred to boy's sister. She will not be rejected. That's why they are called as sufficient condition. Okay, now candidates will come to you. You will have to tell me which option will you mark. So mark option number 1 if the girl is selected. When will you select the girl? When all the 4 conditions are satisfied. That's when you will mark option number 1. Mark option number 2 if the girl is rejected. When will you reject the girl? When any of the 2 necessary condition is not satisfied. So if she is not a Brahmin, rejected. If she is more than 25, rejected. Okay, if necessary condition is not satisfied, the girl is rejected. Mark 3 if the case is to be referred to boy's parents, which means what? She is Brahmin, she is less than 25, but she is not working. She's a good cook, but she is not working. So sufficient condition is not satisfied, the case will be referred to boy's parents. Mark option number 4 if the case is to be referred to boy's sister. Okay, so which means what? 1 is satisfied, 2 is satisfied, 3 is satisfied, but 4 is not satisfied. She's not a good cook. Okay, she's not a good cook, which means the case is to be referred to boy's sister. And in the end, if data is inadequate, okay, you are saying that you are not given enough of data to answer the question. That's why you will mark option number 5, where you are saying data is inadequate to take any decision. Okay, if it is sounding anything confusing, it will be very clear as you see sum number 1. Now we know all the conditions of selection and rejection. Now candidates are coming to you. You will have to tell me which options will you mark. Okay, Miss ABC was born in Brahmin family. Condition number 1 satisfied. Was born on 18/6/79 and today the date is 1/1/2005. So can you tell me, is condition number 2 satisfied? Yes or no? Is she less than 25? Shubham, can you just type your doubt in the chat box so that I can help you with what your doubt is? Yes. Is the condition number 2 satisfied? No. She was born in 18/6/79 and today the date is 1/1/2005. Clearly, if you do your calculation, she is more than 25-year-old. If she is more than 25-year-old, condition number 2 is not satisfied. So what do you think? Which option will I mark? She is a good cook and she is working in MNC. Which option will you mark? Option number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which option will you mark now? Yes, you will mark here option number 2. That is, the girl is rejected. Why is she rejected? Because the necessary condition is not satisfied. Okay, as I said, anytime, that's why it is called as a necessary condition, right? You have to satisfy them. They are very necessary. You have to satisfy them. If you don't satisfy them, rejected. Sufficient condition means what? Even if you don't satisfy them, it's okay. They are not necessary. You will not be rejected. There is some other answer to it. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Let's meet the next candidate now. Miss JKL was born in a Brahmin family. Okay, so condition number 1 is satisfied. Was born in 1981 and today the date is 1/1/2005. So clearly she is less than 25. is a good cook, okay, but is not working anywhere. So what do you think? What will you mark here? You will mark here option number 3. Okay, that is the case is to be referred to boy's parents because the sufficient condition is not satisfied. That's okay. Okay, you will not be rejected. The case will be referred to boy's parents. You will mark here option number 3. Okay, next. You tell me the answer for this. I'm not telling you anything. As soon as you get the answer, put it in the chat box. Okay, so what will you do now? Is a Brahmin? Yes. Is less than 25? Yes. Is a good cook? Yes. Is working in MNC? Yes. So all the conditions are satisfied. What's the problem? Option number 1. Okay, girl is selected as rightly said by all of you. Okay, next problem. What will you mark for this? Yes. What do you think is the answer here? Data insufficient is what you are saying. Okay, so let's see what is the data that is not available here. What is the data that is not available here? So she's less than 25. Yes, she's working. You don't know anything about her being Brahmin or not. So if I tell you she's a Brahmin, now think. Okay, anytime you feel that there is a confusion, should I mark data inadequate? Should I don't mark data inadequate? Ask yourself a question. If given data, will the answer change? Yes. Okay, so if they tell you she is a Brahmin, then the answer is selected. If they tell you she is not a Brahmin, the answer is rejected. So depending upon the data given, the answer will change, right? That's why the answer here is data inadequate. Okay, so whenever you feel a confusion, is the answer data inadequate? Ask yourself a question. If given data, will the answer change? Yes. If you give me the data, the answer will change. That's why it is data inadequate. Okay, so that's what is about your decision making. Again, it's a very simple chapter. All that you have to understand here is a simple concept of what are necessary condition, what are sufficient condition, and when do you mark data inadequate. Okay, let me give you one more sum on this so that you understand it better. What will you mark here? Okay, let's see what is the answer here now. So Miss XYZ was born on 7/5/1978. So condition number 2 is not satisfied. What will you mark here? What will you mark here? Rejected or data inadequate? What do you think? Rejected. Don't mark here data inadequate. What is the reason for that? Now understand. Even if they give you the data, even if they tell you she's Brahmin or she's not a Brahmin, she's working, she's not working, the answer is rejected because the necessary condition is not satisfied. Once you don't satisfy the necessary condition, the answer is rejected. Now, even if they give you the data, the answer will not change. The answer will remain to be rejected. So that's why I told you, ask yourself a question. If given data, will the answer change? No. Even if you give me the data, the answer will not change. The answer will remain to be rejected. Okay, that's why the answer here is rejected and not data inadequate. Because even if you give me the data, the answer will not change. Is it clear, all of you? Ayushi, you were saying years does not match. I hope it is clear to you now. Okay, so that's it from this small chapter of decision making as well. Okay, so just make sure that you know certain things, which is necessary condition, sufficient condition, and when to mark data inadequate. Okay, these are the three important things that you are supposed to know from this chapter. Let's start with one of the most important topic for today, input output. Okay, I find many students are confused with this topic. Okay, now let me simplify this and put it in front of you. So what is input output and how do you deal with it? So imagine that there is a machine. Okay, to this machine, you give an input, Albert Pinto for Gussa Q1. This is the input that you gave to the machine. Okay, what did machine do with this input? The machine performed certain operations on this input. So machine performs step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5 on this input, okay? And it gave me the output at step 5. So machine told me that step 5 is the last step. I cannot process the input anymore. You have to tell me what is machine doing with the input. So this is just like coding decoding. You give input to the machine performs certain logic on the input, the machine gives you the output. You tell me, how is machine converting the input to the output? How is machine arranging the input? Is there any logic? Is there any pattern? That's what you have to crack. Okay, so start thinking. Can anyone think it? Go from input to step 1. Okay, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Why is machine telling me that step 5 is the last step? I cannot process the input anymore. How is machine arranging the input? I got my first answer from Malay, and that is the right answer. Alphabetical wise, or you can say alphabetical order. So no matter what input you give to the machine, it will always arrange the input in the alphabetical order. See what came first. So what came first was Ata. Ata, which was here, came first. And it pushed the rest of them. So Albert, Pinto, Ko, Gussa, Kyuhe, everything else is pushed as Ata came first. After Ata, what happened? After Ata, there is an Albert here, okay, which was already here. You did not take any step further. After that came Gussa, G. So machine is trying to arrange the input in the alphabetical order. And in one step, one word is moving. How they are arranged in a dictionary, that's how machine is arranging them. But in one step, only one word is moving. So first came Ata, then Albert was already there. In step 2 came Gussa. So A, G, they're already arranged. In the next step, H, He comes here. One step, one word is moving. What happens in step 4 now? A is here, G is here, H is here. After H, what do you need? K. So Ko comes here. One step, one word is moving. Machine is arranging in the alphabetical order. A, G, H. And in the end comes what? K, Y. So if there is a clash, if there are two K here, there is a K, O, and then there is a K, Y here. Whenever there is a clash, you check with the next alphabet. Okay, which is what? Here there is an O, and here there is an Y. So O obviously gets a preference over Y. Right? That's why first comes KO and then comes KY. And Pinto is pushed in the end. That's where you say that step 5 is the last step. Now, why is machine telling me that step 5 is the last step? Because all are already arranged. A, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. All of them are already arranged. That's why machine is telling me that step 5 is the last step. Okay, so all that you have to do here, just like coding, decoding, crack the logic of machine. What is the logic? Let me write the logic. Okay, what is the logic? Whatever input you give to the machine, it will arrange it in the alphabetical order. Okay. How is it arranging now? In one step, only one word is moving. So it is not like in one step, all of them are moving. In one step, only one word is moving. That's how it is arranging. And what else did I understand? When all of them are arranged, when the entire input is arranged, that is my last step. So what is the last step? When all are arranged. When all are arranged, that is my last. Got it. Once you get this, as I said, 90% of the problem gets over here only. And if you miss this, if you don't get this, 5 questions will be lost in the exam. Okay, that's like a gamble. If you lose 5 questions in exam. Now, what kind of question they will ask you? Now, they will just ask you, okay, you crack the logic of machine. Now, what if I give this as an input? Like say, the input is the COVID third wave is expected soon. That's an input. So what will be the last step for this input? Okay, solving input output problem is easy. That's an input. Tell me what will be the last step for this input. So they will just keep on changing the input. Exactly what happens in coding decoding. Once you crack the logic, they tell you, okay, what if I give this as an input? What will be the output? So now they will keep on asking you this question. Mind you, one machine gets 5 questions. So if you don't crack this logic, 5 questions are gone in the exam. In an NMAT, SNAP, CET, okay, you get somewhere around 3 machine, which is somewhere around 15 questions only from this one topic. And NMAT has this favorite topic, okay, input output, where we do special sessions of NMAT input output. okay, where we understand different types of machine. But the point here is you should get this logic. Okay, now whatever I explained you, let me explain the same thing by animation, then we'll solve the problems on it. Okay, so same thing. I'm explaining you now by a different app with an animation so that you can visualize what I'm saying and reach on to the right answer. Okay, just give me a minute. So now we'll be looking at the same machine, but in a different app. Okay, let's understand this even better because it's important for you to visualize. Because once you don't visualize, you will not be able to understand the shortcut. So what is input output? As I said earlier, there is a machine. To the machine, you give the input. The machine performs certain operation on the input, gives you the output. Your job is to crack the logic or the operations performed by the machine. So this is your machine. You give the input. Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun aata hai? What is machine doing? Arranging the input in the alphabetical order. So machine sees that what is the first preference here? Aata. So machine brings aata to the front, and rest of them are pushed. That's it. One word moves in one step. What is happening in step 2? AA is already arranged. Next comes G at position 3, and rest of them are pushed. Alphabetical order, one step, one word is. Okay, next after G comes H. So after Gussa comes Hai. Okay, after Hai comes K, but there is a KO and then there is a KY. If there is a clash of first alphabet, you check for the second alphabet. O gets a preference over Y. That's why KO comes. KO comes, and after that comes KY. So machine is arranging. Let me again write the logic for this. Machine is arranging the input in the alphabetical order. In one step, only one word moves. When all are arranged, that is the last. Okay, got the logic. Now let's solve the questions on it. Okay, and this is your first question. If I give this as an input to the previous machine, zindagi na milegi dobara. Okay, as I said, now input will keep changing. So if I give this as an input to the previous machine, can you tell me which step will be the last step? I'm giving you options. Option number 1, third step, then second step, fourth step, none of these. Think and tell me. You know how is machine converting the input to the output. So tell me, which will be the last step? Don't tell me which is the last step. Tell me which option. At which step it will happen that all of them are arranged. At which step? Mayuresh, I got your questions. I'll answer this at the end. Okay? Obviously, see, different machines will have different logic. Not every time it will be in alphabetical order. It can be any logic. It can be reverse alphabetical order. It can be depending upon number of alphabets. So it can be any logic. Okay, you are saying that what? Third step? Let's see. Let's see if third step will be the last step. So what will happen in step 1? Step 1 mein kya hoga? Which word will come to forward? Dubara. Okay, so Dubara comes and rest of them are pushed. What will happen in step 2? Dubara ke baad kya aayega? D ke baad aayega M. So M comes here. In one step, one word is moving. Okay, D and M. Two words are arranged. Third step mein kya aayega? Na will come here. That's it. That's it. You don't need to take a fourth step. All of them are arranged in third step only. That's why you will mark here. Third step is the last step for the following input. Answer is option number. Okay, so that's why you have to crack the logic. If you don't crack the logic, you will not get the answer. You should exactly know how is machine converted. And the logic will be different. I will share few logic today. Few logic you will discover with your practice. Let's see the next question. So as I said, one machine, 5 questions. Let's see the next question. There is a shortcut to it. Yes, there is a shortcut to it, which I want to share it now. Because in an exam like NMAT, which is a speed-based exam, you cannot go ahead by solving it in this way. Okay, you have to come up with a shortcut. What is the shortcut here? See, in an exam, I will not write all this. I'll just write here. Okay, what will come first? Dubara. So write a 1 over this. Okay, cut this. Imagine that this came first. What will come after Dubara? Milegi. So write a 2 over this. Okay, and cut this. Imagine that this came forward. What will come after Milegi? Na. So write a 3 over this. Imagine that this came forward. That's it. And you know, Zindagi will already be left in the end. Okay, so third step is the last step. Someone just said n minus 1. No, never ever. Okay, you will discover why I'm saying that. It is not always n minus 1. The second question will tell you now why. It can be anything. So the next question is this. What will be the last step for the following input? Okay, so if I give this as an input to the previous machine, can you tell me which step will be the last step for the following input? I'm giving you options. Option number A, 7 step. Option number B, 8 step. Option number C, 9 step. And option number D, 6 step. Think about it. Start solving. You can just write the first alphabet. Don't write the entire input. H, D, Y, S, W, B, I, O, B. Just write this. Okay, this is the input. So can you tell me which step will be the last step for the following? Okay, so I got all the different answers here. Some of you are saying 6 steps, some of you are saying 7, some of you are saying 8, some of you are saying 9. Let's solve it. Okay, let me solve it here for you. So what will happen in step 1? Step 1 mein machine will try and arrange this in the alphabetical order. So first step mein kya hoga? This B will come here. Okay, observe the color change. B will come here and rest of them are pushed. H, D, Y, S, W, I, O, P. So first step mein based came here. Second, what will happen? After B, what do you need? After B, you need a D here. So D will come here and rest of them are pushed. H, Y, S, W, I, O, P. Second step. Okay, then what will happen? Third step. What will happen in third step? After B and D, you need a H. Now see, H is already here. You don't have to take any step for H. You wanted this to be at position number 3. It is already there at position number 3. So you don't have to take any step for H. It's already there. Okay, that's where I think most of you made a mistake and you got different answer. What after that? So why will I take step 3? I will take step 3 for after H, what do I need? I. So I'll take a step 3 for I. And now rest of them are pushed. So Y, S, W, O, P. In one step, one word is moved. Step 4. What all do you have here? B, D, H, I. After I, what do you need? O. So O will come here and rest of them are pushed. Y, S, W, and then P. Step 4. What will happen after step 4? Step 5. This is your B, D, H, I, O. Till here, everything is arranged. After O will come P. Rest of them are pushed. Y, S, W. Step 6. So this is B, D, H, I, O, P. After P, what do you need? S. So S will come here and rest of them are pushed. Y and then W. Step 7. Now I think most of you know the answer. Step 7 will be the last steps. B, DHIOPS. After S, what do you need? W. If W comes here, Y is already pushed in the end. You don't have to take any step for Y. You wanted this to be in the end, it's already there in the end. It will be pushed and automatically it will be there in the end. So which step is the last step? Step 7 is the last step for the following input. In step 7, all of them would be arranged. Then the shortcut will not work every time. I will solve this only by shortcut. I never solve like this in exam. Okay, so how will I solve this by shortcut? See, this is how I will solve it in exam. I solved it in this way just for your understanding. I don't waste time like this in exam, especially in NMAT, okay, where speed is a concern. So how will I solve this in exam? By numbering. What I just showed it to you right now. So what will come first? Based. Okay, so what will I do here is I will just write the number over it and nothing else. Okay, that will come with a little bit of practice, but understand. See, how am I solving it here? So what will I do? I will write 1 over based. What is my understanding? So cut kar do. What is my understanding? This came first. What will come after based? Do. So write a 2 over this. Cut this. This came second. What do you need after do? How? It is already here. It's already here. So you don't have to take any step for that. Because after B and D, H will already be here as you checked it here. H will be there in step 2 only. So I will write a 2 only over this. I did not take any step to bring how to position 3. It was already there. So a 2 over this. Cut it now. After how, what do you need? I. So write a 3 over this. After I, what do you need? O. So write a 4 over this. After O, what do you need? P. So write a 5 over this. After P, what do you need? S. So write a 6 over this. After S, what do you need? W. So write a 7 over this. After word, you will already be there because you are taking every word in front of you, right? You are taking it here. So this will already be left in the end. Okay, so step 7 is the last step for the following input. This is how you solve it in the exam. Okay, now you may finding it, how will I imagine this? Practice for 4 to 5 problems and you will be sure with this method. But please understand, this is how you solve it in exam, okay? Because everyone will know the logic. Everyone will be able to solve it. Who solves it quickly is a task here. If you are able to solve it quickly, then you will reach on to the right solution for this. Okay, I hope all of you got it now. Is this clear? Anyone has any doubt? Okay, all of you are saying it is clear. Okay, so let me ask you next question. As I said, 1 machine, 5 questions. So till now we solved 2 questions, third question on the same machine. Okay, till now we have not changed the machine. So next question is this. If step 3 of an input is this, can you tell me the input? So for the first time we are going reverse. Till now, I gave you the input and I asked you the last step. For the first time, I'm giving you the step 3 and I'm asking you the input. So think logically and tell me, is it possible to go reverse? Can you exactly tell me, sir, if this is the step 3, this will be the input? Will you exactly be able to tell me that? Sir, I'm sure if this is the step 3, तो यही input हो सकता है और कोई input नहीं होगा. Are you sure of this? No, you cannot be sure. Now let me tell you why. See, अगर ये step 3 है तो मुझे क्या पता है? This would have come first, correct? ये first आया होगा क्योंकि A है. This would have come second, and this would have come third. But where did this and come from? ये first तो आ गया and, but where was it? Was it second? Was it at position 3? Where did it come from? You know the destination, you don't know the source. तुम्हें पता है वो पोजीशन नंबर 1 पे आया, बट कहां से आया? सो देयर आर 6 डिफरेंट इनपुट Okay, sorry students, I was under a call, important call. Okay, so what you know here is, you know the destination. Okay, you know and came first, but you don't know where was it, where did it come from? Was it second, third, fourth? So there are 6 different input for and only. Now you also know that flying came second. Yes, it came to position 2, but where did it come from? Where was it originally? Was it here? Was it here? Was it here? So there are so many different input for flying, which came as a second. So 6 different input for that. So currently I have 36 different input. Now Incredible came third, but where was it earlier? So 6 different input for Incredible as well. There are 216 different types of input that are possible given this as a step 3. And in exam, you get only 4 options. So answer for this is cannot be determined. Okay, you can't find the input given this as a step 3. Okay, let me show this to you by a slide. So see, I told you that this is your step 3. Okay, so this came first, this came second, and this came third. Okay, but the input for this could be any one of these 3. So and could have been here. It came first, correct? But it could have been here. It could have been here. It could have been here. There are 216 different types of input that are possible given this as a step 3. And in exam, you only get 4 options. Okay, so answer for this is cannot be determined. You can't go reverse. Given any step, even if they give you step 1 and they ask you that what could be the input, you cannot go reverse. Okay, because even for step 1, there are 6 different inputs. So how do you know which is exactly the answer? So, okay, so answer for this is cannot be determined. You can't find the answer. Is it clear, all of you, all those who are having doubt with this? I hope it is clear now. If still you have some doubt, please put it here in the chat box. Divya, I did not get your question. We can't determine if question asks us for reverse. I did not get your question, Divya. You will understand. See, till now, just wait it. Just understand that in a word-based input-output problem, you cannot go reverse. Okay, this was the first machine. Let me give you some other machine now. So that machine is over. The question is over. I'm giving you a different machine, asking you a different question. Okay, so as I said, the machine logic will keep on changing. Till now, we studied only one machine where the logic was arranging them in the alphabetical order. Okay, now let's see the other machine and the logic associated with that. So this is your next machine. I want all of you to answer now. How is the machine converting the input to the output? How and what is the logic associated here? Okay, so go from input to step 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Start thinking. How is the machine converting this? How are the words and numbers arranged here? Yes, the logic here is, as rightly said by Jugal first year, word, number, word, number. Okay, so as you can check it here, what is happening here? First comes a word, then comes a number, then comes a word, then comes a number, then comes a word, then a number. So how is machine arranging the input in the form of word, number, word, number, word, number? Now the question is, how are words arranged? Words are arranged in the alphabetical order. Check it. After A, you have an I. After I, you have an O. After O, you have a T. After T, you have a W. So words are arranged in the alphabetical order. And our numbers arranged here, numbers are arranged in the ascending order. So after 0, you have a 2. After 2, you have a 5. So numbers are arranged in the ascending order. And how are they arranged? They are arranged in a way that in one step only one word or one number is moving. Okay, in one step, only one word or one number is moved. And what is the last step? When all of them are arranged. When all are arranged, that will be your last step. Okay, so this is the logic. This is what you have to crack. Okay, if you don't crack this, 5 questions are gone. So we crack the logic. We know what is machine doing. Word number, words, alphabetical order, number ascending order. In one step, only one word or one number is moved. Okay, check it. In one step only. First came A, then came 0, then came M, then came 2. So in one step, only one word or one number is moving. And when all are arranged, here it is all are arranged in step 6. That means that is your last step. Okay, so got the logic. The logic look quite clear to us. Now let's solve a problem. So first question on this machine. For the following input, what will be the last step? So if I give this as an input to the previous machine, can you tell me which step will be the last step for this as an input? I'll give you the option. 4th step, 5th step, 6th step, 7th step, 8th step. Think about it. You know what is machine doing? So tell me at which step it will happen that all of them will be arranged, given this as an input to the previous machine. Okay, I got all the different answers here. 4th step, 6th step. So who gave the right answer? Only one student has given the right answer. Now 2 of them, Kashish and Chirag. Okay, both of you are having right answer here, which is step 5. Okay, let's see how is step 5 an answer. So what will happen in step 1? In step 1, you will have up. Okay, A will come. Machine is trying to arrange it in the alphabetical order. So first it will take an A here. Okay, in one step, one word is moving. Then what will happen after A? After word, a number will come. So 4 will come in step 2. So word came, then a number. Words are arranged in the alphabetical order, numbers are arranged in the ascending order. So after up comes 4. Step 2. In step 3, the next word that will come after A. After A, the next word is B. So banega comes here, and rest of them are pushed. So first came A, then came number. So word, number, word. Words in the alphabetical order, number in the ascending order. Now next I need a number which is more than 4. So that will be what? 9. So 9 comes here. For that I take step 4. So now 4 are arranged. 4 step, first 4 are arranged. Word, number, word, number. Ascending order, alphabetical. Okay, now what? After that, after 9, what do I need? After 9, I need K. It's already there. K is already here. So you don't have to take any step for that. It's arranged in step 4 only. After K, there is no number. Okay, so now you just have to arrange. So after K, it will be what? P. But there are two P here, P-A-T and P-A-D. Okay, so just like in a dictionary, if the first 2 alphabet clash, I'll check for the third alphabet. So D gets a preference over T. Okay, that's why in step 5, I'll be taking P-A-D, Padosi. So Padosi comes here. Okay, and after Padosi, Pati and Ya are pushed here. So that's what I wanted. After PED, I wanted PAT, it's already here. After P, I wanted Y, it's already here. So step 5 is the last step. Okay, as soon as PAD comes here, these 2 are pushed. So step 5 will be the last step for the following input. Okay, this is how you have to think. If you ask me, sir, how will you solve this by shortcut in exam? I don't do this in exam, okay? Because again, as I said, this will be waste of time. How will I solve this in exam? I'll solve this by numbering. So I'll say, okay, what will come first? Up. So write a 1 over this. What will come second? 4. So write a 2 over this. What will come third? Banega. So write a 3 over this. Imagine everything is coming in front of con. Okay, so first came up, then came for, then came banega. Everything is coming in front of con. Then what after banega will be 9. So step 4 for that. Now you check it. After 9, con is already here because everything was coming in front of con. So in step 4 only con is there. After 9 you needed con, it's already here. That's what happened here. After 9 you needed con, it was already here. After k you need P8D. So I will write a 5 over this. That's it. This will come now where? This will come after this con. Okay, so you have Pati and Ya, which will already be left in the end. Like in 15 seconds, I'll solve this in exam. Just by now. Okay, so make sure you practice this shortcut as you see the problem. Because more you practice, the better you will be at this. Is it clear, all of you? Anyone has anything to ask? Okay, no doubts. That's it with this machine. Okay, I'm not taking 5 questions here. I just took 1 question because I wanted you to understand the logic of the machine. Okay, and I hope all of you got it. Let's take one more machine. So this is your next machine. You just have to crack the logic here. Okay, so go from input to step 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Tell me, how is machine arranging the input? On what logic? On the basis of what logic? What is the logic by which machine is telling me that step 6 is the last step? Once you get the answer, put it in the chat box. Yes, the answer is being rightly said in the chat box. It is reverse alphabetical order. Okay, so what is the logic here? Again, just like the previous problem, it is word number here. But words are arranged in the reverse alphabetical order. What is reverse alphabetical order? Starting from Z and going on to A. So it is O, G, F, and then A. So it's reverse alphabetical order. And numbers are arranged in the ascending order, just like it was in the previous problem. So word number, words reverse alphabetical order, numbers ascending order. And what is the sequence? In one step, okay, one word or one number is one. And when all are arranged, that is the last step. Got it. That's the logic to it. Once you get this logic, let's solve the sum. Okay, let's solve only one sum from this. We'll not solve 5 sum from the machine. So as you can check it here, first comes word, reverse alphabetical, number, then a word, then a number, then a word, then a number. So given this scenario, can you tell me which of the following step will be last? So if I give you step 2 of an input is this, can you tell me which step will be the last step for this as a step 2? So now I'm not giving you input. I'm giving you step 2 and I'm telling you if this is the step 2, can you tell me which step will be the last step? Tell me the number, okay? 6th step, 4th step, 7th step, whatever you get. Start solving. Cannot be determined. No, that was only for input. Of course, you can determine this. This is step 2. The question is which of the following step will be the last? 6 step, 7 step, okay. Okay, let me solve it here for you. Okay, so what will happen in next step? This is step 2. Okay, so starting from step 2. What will happen in next step? Year and 21 were already arranged. Okay, this is reverse alphabetical order. So what will come after Y? T. So T comes here in next step. Step 3. What will come in next step? So Y, 21 and T are already arranged. I need a number that is more than 21, that is 33. So in the next step, 33 comes here. Okay, that is what has happened here. 33 comes here. That is your step 4. What after that? Y, 21, T, 33. After this, you need reverse alphabetical order. So O. So on comes here. Step 5. After that, what do you need? After on, you need a 72, which will come here. Okay, and rest of them are again pushed. That's it. Step 6 is the last step. In step 6, all of them are arranged. Reverse alphabetical order, ascending order. Okay, so after step 2, you will take 4 more steps such that step 6 becomes the last step for the following input. If I'm solving this in exam, how will I do this? See, I will write 1 and 2 is already there. So you start from 3 because it is already step 2. So what will come third? After 21, what do you need? After 21, you need a table. So I'll write a 3 over this. Okay, cut this, make sure it came here. After table, what do you need? 33, a number more than 21. So I'll write a 4 over this. Step 4 for this. After 33, what do you need? On. So I'll write a 5 over this. After on, what do you need? 72. So I'll write a 6 over this. Stop. After 72, you need a good. It's already here because everything that you were taking was in front of good, right? So good will already be here and 91 will already be there after this. So 6th step becomes the last step for the following input. Got it, all of you? Is it clear now? Yes, is it clear? This was our last sum for the day. So I hope it is clear to all of you. Now, what will happen is while you solve the problems on input output, you will discover different logic for the machine. All that you have to understand is what are the different types of logic. We saw today alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical orders, word numbers, word number. You will find some other logic as well. Sometimes it will arrange in the basis of number of alphabets. So first comes A, then comes AB, then comes ABC. So this is arranging depending upon the number of alphabets in a word. 1 alphabet, 2 alphabet, 3 alphabet. This is also one type of logic. But this is what you will have to discover with your practice. What are the different ways by which machine can give you a logic? Once you practice this, you will be good with this. Again, make sure you use always the shortcut of numbering. That will be very helpful for you to reach on to your answer. Okay, so that's it from today's class. Give me a minute. Please make sure now you practice enough of problems on this and be good with this topic. Okay, let me take your attendance and then you can. Okay, which is this batch? Can anyone put the batch number here in the chat box? Okay, so 43 and 45. Okay. Twenty-one 43 and 21 45. So 43 is here. Yes. Can you tell me if you are present here? Who all are present from 43? Just 43 people say present. Bhavesh. Just 43 people. No one else other than 43. Okay. So Bhavesh is there. After that, just say a yes or a present. Ayushi. Is there Malay? Okay, I have it here, all your attendance. Now, all the 45 students, can you put a present? Okay, so I have your attendance. That's it from today's class. I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you and have a great day. How can we understand that machine 1, machine 2, and machine 3? How can you understand? That's what you will have to see it here. You will have to go from input to step 1, then from 1 to 2, then from 2 to 3, and then understand what is actually machine doing. So you will have to see the machine and see the steps to understand. In exam, yes, that's what you will have to do. Exam में भी वही करोगे ना? Input देखोगे, steps देखोगे, last step देखोगे, फिर देखोगे कि machine कैसे convert कर रहा है उसे, and you will understand in that way. So for that, practice enough. Practice करो इतना कि इतने machine पहले ही देख लो कि exam में कोई नया machine देखोगे ही नहीं क्योंकि तुमने पहले ही वो practice में देख लिया है. So make sure you practice enough of problems and see all the machines so that you don't see any new machine in the exam. Right? See you. Homework is solving exercise problem. I hope you know that solving exercise problem is your homework for all the 4 chapter 5, 6, 7, 8. All that you have to do is solve the exercise problem and that will be your homework. By what name you will get it exactly in the portal? So you will be getting it from ER chapter 5 to 8. By that name you will be getting it in your portal. So go to notes. That's where you will find it out.